Hello, my name is Naomi Richardson, and welcome to another episode of the Power Chat series. This episode is Nativity, the intersection between youth, community, and art in Detroit. Today I'm interviewing Detroit native Alex Collier, an educator in the Detroit Public Schools with a background in illustration and animation while also being a mural painter. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. If you'd like to go ahead and introduce yourself, then that'd be great.
Hi, I'm Alexander Collier. I am a illustrator, animator, and a mural artist, and an educator here in the Detroit area.
That's great. Okay, let's get started. So, as a Detroit native and growing up and attending Detroit public schools while also being influenced and surrounded by art in the community, what does it mean to you to be able to teach youth when you used to be their age?
It means absolutely everything to me to be able to move through the world as my previous educators did. The experiences that I had with them were so impactful and formed me into the person that I am today. So I am extremely honored to be able to teach the youth.
That's great. When did you first start getting connected to art through the community, and what impacts did it leave behind as you grew older?
I actually was in middle school and I was attending the program that I would later teach for. I was selected to be in the program to help with the mural painting. And we were painting at a Detroit Public Library. And as people in the community passed through the library, they made really positive comments on what we were doing. We were also redecorating their community garden, and just the feedback from the community was outstanding. And I truly understood what my impact was in the community, and it made me want to continue to do it as I grew older.
That's great. Um, Being native to a community and having a connection to one is like being a puzzle piece to a bigger story. Defining how do you define how deep rooted and intersected art, youth, and community are?
I'm going to explain it in the same way that I explain it to my children, that art transcends time, art transcends absolutely everything. If you step outside, you can find art in very small, simple ways. Um, Art is a tool, almost like a vehicle, to give kids the power to get to know themselves, expand themselves. So, in order to move through their community, they have to be creative individuals in order to shine, even in STEM, in math and science. You have to be a creative individual in order to show up in the world as you are.
That is so true. I think art is a really important tool. Do you, what are, I, this is just like a quick little side question. What are some of the favorite, like, what are your favorite projects that you've worked on with your students, at least in like the past 2 years, I would say?
In the past 2 years, I honestly think a few years ago when I worked for Community Arts Partnership, we painted a mural on the side of a school on the west side of Detroit in Brightmoor. And we involved some of the students that attended that school in that project. And just like how excited they were to show up every day and put hard work and dedication into that piece. And they would bring their parents to come see like what we were doing. The community members would stop and see what we were doing, and just like those kids had a lot of pride for their work. And I think that was the best project I've ever worked on with my
Yeah.
kids.
That's great. As an educator now, can you elaborate on how you believe that supporting young individuals is a process that the whole collective community is responsible for?
this life that we live is a collaborative process. Um, as people, we need community. We need a village. It is such like an old people saying like it takes a village to raise a child. Naturally, I believe that. So being an educator, being connected with the parent, the principal, the bus driver, you are planting small seeds with these kids in each interaction that you have. So sometimes kids go home and they may not get the full support of their parent because their parent is working extremely hard to put food on the table. So that's where I may be able to come in as an educator and give a sense of relief at school to be able to support them in ways that they may not get at home. Or their bus driver may have a relationship or rapport with them that differs from their parents. So it takes a community to raise a child. And where art plays into that is where again they get a space to be creative. They do not have to be so serious. I think play, creativity is such an important thing to have in a child's life. Even as an adult, I feel like creativity, art is such an important tool to be able to move through the world as I do.
That's great. If you were to give advice to your younger self from 5 or 10 years ago, what would you say? I think this question I ask, I'm pretty sure like all my guests this question, and usually they're like a few years older than me or just older than me in general. So I just really love to hear these questions.
Um, the advice would to be patient. I find myself in a lot of scenarios, even now, constantly reminding myself to be patient and let things unfold for themselves. Um, when I was younger, I pushed myself extremely hard to create work and to monetize my work and to be in the world as some of my peers were, and not understanding that it takes time to make a piece. It takes time to really process what I would like my piece to be. Um, so really just to be patient and also to not think about when I'm creating a piece what kind of money I can make off this piece instead of just creating it to have fun, and then if the money comes, the money will come.
That's great. I want to talk about this is just another little side question. I want to know like how you define being like a native in Detroit, like growing up in Detroit public schools and then like also working in the same area. Like what does being a native here mean to you?
Being a native Detroiter means to have integrity, to be honest, to be a really solid human being, to be honest, to be real, um, and then to grow up in Detroit public schools and to turn around and be able to teaching them, having a firsthand experience on what it was like to go through it. I feel like I have like a cheat sheet on how to connect with my
Yeah,
kids, to be honest, because I not that long ago was sitting literally where they were sitting because I teach now in a high school that I graduated from. So I'm able to connect with them in a way that I may not be able to connect with kids in Birmingham. I understand what it's like to go through a system that has faced many difficulties when it comes to supporting the youth in DPS schools. So I am extending myself in ways that I could not do in other spaces, again, because I have that
yeah,
firsthand experience.
that's great. Well, I love this one-on-one conversation with you, and I just want to extend my thankfulness to you and again say thank you for letting me interview you. If you want to say your LinkedIn, your social media, you can go ahead and say that. If not, that's completely okay.
You can find me on InsideOut.org's website. I'm a teacher with Inside Out, so my contact information is on there. So thank you so much. This has been great.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.